Ah, boy, I tell you, it's cold here today. Here in 7B, Maryland, it's cold. It's ice cold outside. And I'm indoors thinking about getting everything all set up for the gardening this year. And I have everything. Like I said before, I'm going to go with I put a video up yesterday, and it's a bag of compost slash manure on there. And that's what I'm going to use this year. That's what I'm going to use. Yeah. I'm going to make certain that I have that all together because I love gardening so much so that I think about it 24/7. And I have some things that are in the house growing. I've talked about those before. I'm overwintering some pepper plants. They are doing quite well. Also growing some garlic indoors. Hey, I use the garlic tops, just the tops, and I cut those off and cut them up, and I put those in some food this week, and it is nothing like fresh garlic tops. Um, and I thought so. Anyway, I ate that, and it was really great. Added a great flavor to the food. And then I looked today, 2 days later, the tops are growing back. So I still have more that I can get from those plants. And they grew back. They're about 7 inches tall. They grew back about 3 inches over a period of 3 days. I just made sure that the pot has the adequate amount of food in it so that the garlic can eat. And so that's what you do. That's what you do. You make it do what it do, and that's it. And the most important thing, you don't overwater in the garden. You don't overwater indoors. You don't overwater in pots. You just add adequate amount of water, and that's it. Something I want to talk about. Some of you maybe have the same problem. People who come to your site will give you the thumbs down. And I'm thinking, why would you waste your time? If you don't like a garden program, just don't go back there. Any program really, just don't go back there. I mean, but I like going to people's channels and looking at what they have. If I don't like it, I know how to just say, okay, that's not for me. But to be that angry, or that passive aggressive, to say, I'm gonna give this guy the thumbs down, or I'm gonna give this lady the thumbs down. For what? What's the point? Um, so at any rate, um, I appreciate everyone that come to my channel and check out things that I do. I appreciate that. And a lot of people write a lot of nice things, and then they got those who try to help. Like one gentleman sent me something yesterday. He said, I was in the store and I was looking at a bag that didn't have the price tag on it, and he was saying that he has a scanner on his phone that he uses to help him, if he's in a store to go through prices and give him the pricing on the items. And I thought that was good information, so I wrote it down I actually downloaded me a scanner today. It's called a smart scanner. I don't know how that's going to work, but I'm going to try it when I go to the store next time. But I appreciate that, gentleman. Appreciated what you did because you didn't have to. Uh, it was a video about um, making certain that you get everything set up for your garden before gardening actually starts. Set everything up. Find out what kind of manures you're going to use, what kind of budget you have, what kind of water you're going to use for the plants, where are you going to plant the plants. Are you planting in containers? Are you planting in ground? What are you going to do? Are you going to practice techniques that save space? Are you going to grow some new items that you haven't grown before? These are things that you want to think about in the winter months and get everything organized so that when spring comes, you're not overwhelmed and running to the store and grabbing stuff and a panic and grabbing stuff because your days are running short for what you can grow. You don't want to do that. You want to get everything at a start ahead of time, and that's what you want to do. And so I feel good about that. Each year I try to do that now. At one point I didn't. I used to wait until the days got real pretty and it was getting up around 50, 60 degrees. Uh, Sorry. How you doing today? Lead Farmer 7G3. I have to I'm down on the I feel yeah, yeah, yeah. I but you know something? I can feel you on that because I feel the same way when someone does that, because you could just simply stop watching. That's all. And you don't have to give them a thumbs down at all. You just stop watching. I go to people's channel. I watch your channel a number of times, and this especially like when you was sitting there and you was giving all this information, um, and you was I think he's called a Cavassier, you know, and 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 I said, okay, he's going to do a real good garden this year. But now, what I think we should all try to do each year is grow more, and I think we should try to grow vegetables of higher quality. I just got a pineapple from the grocery store because we can't really grow them here in Maryland. The cost would outweigh the benefits. But here's what happened. I got the pineapple, and I've never had this happen before with pineapples. I cut into it, cut it out, and I had it with my breakfast, and it was horrible. There was very little sweetness to this fruit, which tells me, okay, this was picked perfectly green when it was picked. So that won't happen again. Um, that was from the grocery store that I go to. Grocery store we have. Anyone have this store in their location called Audi's? Oh, okay. You know who's? Yeah, yeah. Well, he should find another hobby or something. Go somewhere else, and um, he should go somewhere else. Oh, okay. But I tell you, it's sad. It's sad, sad when you got nothing going on in your life but to go online and just be doing that to other people's sites. Um, but if because what I do, if I find the person, actually, what I do, I just block them, and then that way they can't do any more harm for anything. I just block them because sometimes they'll get angry enough to make a notation. Once they make that notation there, and I see where they're from, block it, and that helps out some. But I'm gonna keep going with the garden show. I've been doing this for a lot of years, and I like being online. I like also shooting videos. I haven't done that in quite a while. When you dress it all up with the music and the intro, the outro, and it's been a while since I've done that because it's been kind of busy here. But I'm gonna go back to those. And one gentleman said that it was a song. It was an intro song that I did. It's the morning gardener show. It's the morning gardener show. And he liked that intro. And I said, all right, go ahead and put that back on a couple of videos and see what happens. If they like it, then keep it. If they don't, then go ahead and go back to where you were. But I used to put that on all my videos back in the day. We're going back about, I guess, about 3, 4 years. And some people liked it. And all I did was did it because I said it would tag my show as, having its own intro song. Um, and so I said, okay, we'll keep doing that for a while. And then after a while, I kind of dropped it because when my computer went down, I lost the tracks, and then I discovered with this newer program that I have how to get that back, how to get that back on online. Um, but not to be diverted, I'm going to improve my soil this year, like I do every year. This year, I just cut everything down and let it just sit there on the ground and decay. Um, haven't been getting any wood chips lately because the trucks are moving fast when you see them, and you don't get them stopped. And so every time I see a truck go down the street, if I'm stuck at work or whatever, I see it go past me. I'm at work, so I can't do anything about it. And he's full of wood chips, full, and there's one right behind that one. There's nothing I can do about it. but they go down the street and they empty off their loads wherever they empty it at, and I think it's a cost for that. Um, I'm pretty sure there's a cost for everything you do today, but they could dump it in on my property for free, absolutely free. So that's where I'm at right now, and I'm just sitting here right now because I said do a few minutes on the show and then turn around and get some rest. Got to go to work tonight, and I said get on the horn here with your good friends and see what's going on. Um, I want to see. I was out yesterday at the stores just looking around, and I shot some video. And Lowe's didn't have anything on sale except for one bag of I think it's some type of fertilizer, and it was marked way up at first. It was marked way up, and then they took $1 off, and I just looked at it and said, I don't want that. I said it's only $1. And with the dollar knocked off, it's still $8. I said I went to Home Depot and got $7 bags for $2, and that is what I call knocked off. Now, a few years back, let me tell you what I did, and I'm just sorry I got there late. That's all. I'm just sorry I got there late. There was it's called Fish Emulsion. They loaded up a clearance cart, and it was like 20, 25 of those containers sitting there. When I went over to scan it, the lady said, this one here is 7 cents. A whole bottle now, good size bottle. And this one here is 50 cents. This one here is 50 cents. And I looked at it and said, fish emulsion, fertilizer. So I bought all of it. And the lady said to me, you should have saw what this other gentleman just got, which means he got as much as he could carry in order to leave those bottles there for me. He got as much as he can carry. So my sale items have always been on Lowe's. On Home Depot. And then there's another one which is Walmart. Now Walmart sells those starter trays. I guess that's what you would call them for your plants. They usually go for about $6 a tray. I went in there one evening and they were 50 cents a piece. I loaded up as much as my car would carry. I think I had the town car. And I loaded up the back seats for as much as I could put in there. I loaded them up on the passenger side. And then, let's see, I came back up there and loaded some more. Only difference was most of them were gone because somebody already did what I did. They looked at them and said, oh, my good, I got to get these. And that's what they did. They were 3-inch pots, plastic, the type you put the plastic cover over the top. And so that's what happened. I bought, I bought all that I could handle. I bought all that I could stock away in my greenhouse. My little inside. I got like an inside greenhouse. And I put in everything I had. I said, put this stuff in there, get this stuff together, get it anyway. And I did that. 50 cents a tray. And I've been using those trays for years. And so that's how that works. So Walmart, sometimes I'll run across that and it'll happen at the end of the year when everything is getting ready to go out. And then now another thing, what was it? Lowe's, wait a minute, let me go back to Lowe's. Lowe's, when they pull in everything in there as far as the plants go, they pull everything in there. And they will, at the end of the season, they'll start marking that stuff down. Like you got seed potatoes will be going for, what do seed potatoes go for? $1 a container. But here's the problem with the seed potatoes. It's at the end of the year. And you can put them in and, do the best you can. But unless you got them in a greenhouse where you can keep them going a little longer, you're gonna regret that purchase. That's what I usually do. Now Walmart takes all of its plants at the end of the growing season, which is not that long. And you remember that they got a certain number of days that they're going to get that stuff out, and then all the plants be there. And his truck comes around and he just starts shoveling those. I did a video on that too when the truck came by, he was just putting all these beautiful plants on the truck to go back to wherever they take them to recycle them, the soil, the plant itself, and all of that. Whatever they do with them, they bring them all back and recycle. Um, Now, these plants, they could have did a better job than that. They could have marked that stuff down and sold that stuff because there were women standing around saying, "I wish I'd knew them tomato plants. I wish I'd knew them pepper plants." And they just didn't put the mark down out there so that these people could come in and get them for 50 cents or stuff like that and sell that stuff. You know, I just feel bad about plants that grow and then people just demolish them like they don't matter. Um, I just don't like that. I think it's a complete waste to do that. Um, when I have leftover plants, I try to keep them. I will try to keep them. I will not just take them and go, okay, I filled up my garden. These go in the trash. I don't do that. In fact, these pepper plants here are pepper plants that are left over from my what they call them my stocks. Once I filled up my garden, I had these pepper plants left over, and I had tomatoes, and I had leftover, and I had what they call them, God, what they call it, the eggplants left over. I had all that left over. I didn't just throw them away. I gave some to neighbors. I looked hard and long and put some in the garden that I could find any kind of space, or I just left them in the containers. Now, these here are in the containers from being grown last year, and they're still around. Now, so what I'll do this year is they will go in the ground, and I want to see how will they produce. How will they produce it? Because I think that they may be stunted. They may be stunted, but I want to see for myself, you know. And I bet you when I put them in the ground and I put that fertilizer in there from that homemade fertilizer, grass clippings and weeds, I guarantee they just act crazy. I know they're going to act crazy because something happens when you put a really highly balanced fertilizer in the ground for a plant, like fish heads and fish guts and things like that. Those plants go in, they get all that nutrients, and they go crazy. Because fish swim around in the deep waters and they pick up all those nutrients that are in water. And we know that water is very dense when it comes to nutrients. So the fish are what they swim in. And you put them in the ground and they release that to your plants. So my point is that go ahead and keep thinking on a natural way of doing things with your plants. I mean, and all these advertisers they got on these channels selling you everything. I mean, I watched some videos last night. It was late last night, maybe about 2, 3 in the morning. And I remember the lady said, hello, if you want to grow plants, you'll need, and see, when they use little you'll need or you have to have, and they showing you these bags that came from the box stores. And they say, put some of this in the hole, put some of that in the hole. And I'm looking on it. So I wrote them a little note. I said, was this plant, could this plant be grown many years ago before that product was created? How did they manage to grow this plant? That's what I asked. And of course, I got no response back as of yet, but we'll see. If I get a response back, I'll definitely let you know. But I just wanted to, when they do that, when they say it can only be grown using this, or you must have this, and when you look at this, these farmers back in the day, they were old peoples, and what they did was they understood nature and what worked and what didn't work. So they grew things using natural ingredients. There was no box stores where you could go and grab a whole bunch of stuff in a bag. They only used what primarily they had on that farm. And they had horse manure, and they had cow manure. If they had rabbits, if they had chickens, they had all this manure, and they knew this is what makes plants grow. They knew that. When they fished in the streams, they used the fish guts and heads and everything. The frogs that they caught, they used this stuff because they knew this is what plants eat. They eat living matter. That's what they eat. And plants, I like way plants, so they look innocent and healthy, but they eat like we do. They eat, but they must have it in a liquid form. So when you put something in the ground and it starts to rot down, the biology breaks it down. The worms break it down, and then when it rains, it creates this tea. And these plants gorge themselves on this food. So box stores primarily convince people with the colorful bags, and they got some of the slickest writers in the business that put the writing on there. Grows big, bold roots. Grows plants fast. Grows plant tomatoes big and sweet tasting. Whatever they got to write on that bag to get you to loosen up on that wallet. It's a form of hustle. So if you don't know, they're going to sell a bag to you. But if you have a farmer moving next door to you, and he has some cattle out there and some horses and some rabbits or whatever, he'll outgrow you every single year because he's not going to the box store. He's actually just using natural ingredients that his great grandfather made sure he had that knowledge on how to do this. But while you're going to the grocery store paying $6 and $8 a bag, $3 3-pound bag of some kind of fertilizer. It's so you got to think of on the terms of what has been used back in the old days. The grass that I keep talking about, the weeds that I keep talking about, those are things that you must remember are natural that plants naturally eat. They naturally eat it, so it's perfectly balanced food for them. This is the Morning Garden Show, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm on my way out of here. I should have been gone 10 minutes ago, but I got excited, got into it, and I really enjoyed talking to you. Thank you very much, and you have a good day. And be safe.